one of the things that's really annoying when you have a dry tumbler, or what I mean is a media tumbler, so you have a little corncob media or something of that type, is that you have to keep replacing that over time. And if you reload a lot, you replace it a lot, and that does add up. So this unit, it comes, like I said, with the motor and the actual container here. The container comes with both a closed style lid like this, which is what you're going to use when it's on the actual tumbler. It also comes with two of these, and these allow you to they go into here, and that allows you to actually separate the media by dumping this over. Now, things you also have to buy with this tumbler. You need to buy, one, a stainless steel media pin, and this is just a giant magnet. That's all this is a magnet. And you dump it in, it picks up all the stainless steel media, go like this, and it releases it. This right here goes for $11.99. And the guy bought this all on Amazon. It was just cheaper to do it that way with the shipping. Also, Lemmy Shine. This is in essence what's actually give that shine to your brass. Normally you would buy some kind of a liquid that you go in your regular tumbler, and that'd help the shine value. Well, that's what Lemmy Shine is going to do. Now, you also need soap. And this is not something you normally have to do if you don't have a wet tumbler. So what I did is I bought Dawn Ultra. You definitely need one of the concentrated versions. I found that out. I tried one of the organic ones, and it did not do anywhere near as well as the Dawn Ultra or the Dawn Concentrate. Now, the Lemmy Shine I meant to mention is $17.99 for 3 of these 12-ounce containers. So I've done, I would say, probably between 5,000 or 6,000 brass, and I am maybe about halfway empty on one container. So that's a fantastic return your value. I put just a little bit more than about a 9mm case of Lemmy Shine in there. It's a very, very small amount of this that actually goes in. Now, let's get to the actual unit here. So this is your motor. One of the fantastic things that I really like about this is that for my other tumbler, my dry media tumbler, I had to buy one of the units that goes in your socket that has a timer on it. Kind of used for Christmas trees, things of that nature, or Christmas lights outside. I had to do that, because otherwise it just run all night long. So I generally wait till night to run my tumbler so it's not so loud, if I'm down here. So this unit out of the box, the Frankford Arsenal, comes with the ability to have it set from 0 hours to 3 hours. 3 hours is generally what I set it at every time, just to ensure I really get that clean factor. Now, in that 3 hours, you can tumble 1,000 556 brass pieces in this unit. 1,000, that's right. I've generally stuck with 500 or less, simply because I like to get the real shine factor there instead of getting the half and half. So while you can do 1,000, I didn't get the exact results that I wanted, so I've been going about 500, maybe 750 tops. Some things to think about with this is that you're also going to have the stainless steel media in here, and normally you would just tumble out your corncob brass or corncob material, you're separating your cleaning material, and you do that in one of your tumblers, media separators. With this, you're going to do the same type of an action, but you're going to use your magnet to help pick them up, and that can be a pain in the butt. I've noticed with mine that you still find some of these stainless steel pins in the brass, and unfortunately I had one in a 9mm casing that happened to be perfectly lined up so that it was exactly where the flash hole was for the primer, and when I moved the reloading handle down to pop out the primer, the depriming pin actually hit that piece of stainless steel media and actually bent that pin, and it's completely useless. I had to call Lee and get a brand new one. Lee, being as awesome as they are, sent me a brand new one. I told them it was my fault. They still sent me one for free. Great stand-up company they are. So there are things to think about. There are pros and there's cons. The big pro with this, like I mentioned, is that you can separate media, or that you can clean brass very quickly and very efficiently. This just will run circles around my dry media tumbler. Absolute circles around it. I also like that out of the box you have the timer built in right here. And for $149.99, you can't beat that price. And it also includes 5 pounds of the stainless steel media, which is normally about a $50 expense. So when I get everything I need for about $202.46, that's fantastic. And to show you the difference in what the brass looks like, this was one of the brass pieces that is not going in the tumbler, and this is a brass piece that was in the tumbler. So significantly brighter, not anywhere near as tarnished, and most that's due to me shooting my Tavor suppressed. So it gets all the gunk in the buildup, and this thing cleans it like a champ. Now, some of the things that I don't like so much that are a little bit of annoying, I guess, separating the media. It's a pain in the butt. It really, really is. Is it worth it? I would say so, yeah. I think I clean enough brass, I clean it fast enough that I wouldn't go back to a dry media tumbler if I didn't have to. One of the other pains in the butt is you have to fill this with water. So you're going to put your stainless steel pins in here, then you're going to put your brass, then you're going to fill up with water. Now you're going to fill up to water until about this point right here. So it's almost entirely filled with water. You do need to make sure this stays below 35 pounds. I keep it right around the 30-pound mark, and that's to make sure that everything works how it should. So I did buy a little scale, a $5 scale from Walmart to make sure this does not exceed the 35-pound mark. And the water is like black by the time it gets out. And you imagine, I mean, this piece of brass, as corroded and nasty as it is looking, yeah, it's going to get a lot of that. All that junk is going to be in the water then. And you have to fill this up with the water. Then you got to take the water out. You got to take the stainless steel media out of the water. That all takes time. It all takes effort. But again, I think it's worth it. I've enjoyed this so far. I've been using this for about 4 or 5 months now, and I would not go back. The one thing you're going to want to pay attention to, though, if you're in a basement or if someone doesn't have a fresh access to water, you're going to have to take this up and down the stairs, put water in it, bring it back down, dump the water up outstairs, bring it back down, or in your garage, whatever you're doing. So that is a kind of a pain in the butt that you're not normally doing. I'm putting a sink in my basement just so I don't have to go up and down the stairs with my container here with my brass in it. On top of that, guys, there's not much else. I will say, as mentioned, we can see the difference between these two pieces of brass right here. And this was in about a 3-hour time frame. You can't beat that. You really can't. And once you get used to this, you're not going to want to go back. So again, check these out on Amazon.com. They're available through a number of other sources as well. The Frankford Arsenal one was one of the best ones for the price that also had the best reviews, so this is the one I tried. And so far, I really enjoy it. Now, if this had water in it, which it doesn't, I would set it up here like this, just to give you guys the idea how it runs. And then you're going to turn this dial. Now, it's incredibly loud, so we're not going to do it on video. But we are going to do a setup. We're going to run through it, and it'll be in the video in a little box in the top right corner. Other than that, guys, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Remember to look up our video about the Alpha Ignite holster. If you comment on that and share it, you're in the running to win a Great Lakes Tactical Commander muzzle brake. Also remember to subscribe and share these videos. When we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, we're going to give away that huge package with ammo, magazines, muzzle brakes, all kinds of stuff. So again, guys, thank you for watching. Please know what you think, and have a great day, guys. See you later. All right, so we filled this with water, guys. The water's about up to right here. Now, I use hot water. When I think about cleaning anything at home, we use hot water to get to degunk things, so I put hot water in here. Now we're going to put Lemmy Shine in, as mentioned. I don't do a whole lot more, probably, than about 9mm casing. Next is the Dawn. Again, use the concentrate. Do not go with the non-concentrated formula. Tried it, didn't work, waste of money. I don't put a ton in there, just enough to get those suds going. Alright, then we have the lid that is a complete seal. It is not one like this, so we do a seal on here. Make sure it's nice and tight. Crank this thing down. There we go. Now, put it on here. Ready? Turn it to 3 hours. Good to go. Let's see what it comes out like later. Alright guys, we're going to show you what the brass looks like by turning this thing off. Alright, now we're going to take this, we're going to dump it into our media separator right here. Here's what it looks like, it's just a 5-gallon bucket. And this is just the first stage of the media separation that I do. I do more than this as well, and we're going to see here in a second. Some of those little pins you guys just heard bouncing around. Got to be careful with those. They're expensive, I don't want to lose them all. Alright, so dumping this into here. As you guys can see, I have towels sitting down. That's because, as you can see how muddy this water is, the muckiness, it bounces all over the place. It really splashes. So I try to keep a towel so I'm not getting everything all stained. All right, now I'm down to just about the brass and the pins. There we go. All right, so real quick, I'm going to do a close-up of this guy so you can see what the brass looks like. I'm going to show you, this is about the quality of the brass that went in. This is what came out. Do a quick close-up here. So that is about, focus, that is about the quality of brass. Oh, sorry guys. That's about the quality of brass that went in. That is what came out. So again, sorry, hard to focus, guys. This one is what went in. This is what came out. And I'm just not able to focus. There we go. So what went in, what came out. All right, let's see what goes on for the rest of it. All right, so once I've got it this far, guys, this is where I start to tumble this just enough to kind of get most of the pins out, because that's really the goal of this. And because there's water, I highly advise you guys get the one of these that has these shields on it. They're a pain in the butt because you hit them with the separator, but at least they do a pretty good job of keeping most of the junk in. Even though pins do bounce around, the pins definitely fly out of here. I have a 1.5-year-old, and you've got to be very careful with these because obviously I don't want my kid get hold of these little pins. Alright, so now another step I do is I have these separators, and these separate 223, 9mm, things like that, 45. So I dump this into here because, to be honest, this thing takes forever and I don't think it does the best job. It's just enough to help me get the water out of here. So I dump it into here. Alright, there's pins everywhere. We'll use the magnet here in a minute. And then I get it going like that just to get the major stuff separated. Alright, so it looks like all we have is 9mm and 223. Sometimes I have different things in here. Alright, so now alright, so that's pretty much getting most of the pins out. Now here's where that magnet comes into play, guys. One, I got magnets, or these little pins all over the place. Makes life a whole lot easier when you just pick these magnets up with this thing, dump them right back in. They're stainless steel, so don't worry about them getting rusty. Don't worry about having water in this thing. I leave whatever little bit of residue left in here from both the soap and the water. I just leave it in there until next time. I have not seen ill effects of that so far. So, in essence, that's what you're doing. And then, of course, you're going to use your magnet to skim this water as well. The water that you dump out, because there's going to be pins in there for sure. So, that is the process for doing this. This is not a simple task. Definitely not as simple as the media separators that use corn cob. Because for those, for the most part, all you really have is corn cob media you're separating. The rest of it's all junk, other than your brass. This, you're actually keeping these pins, so you've got to be careful because you don't want to lose a bunch of them. So it's that extra step. But again, you're doing more of these faster with these pins. And for me, I get a lot better results, I feel. So I would keep this tumbler. It's something I would definitely look into investing to if you're doing a lot of reloading. If you're not doing a lot of reloading, it might be kind of unnecessary if you're not doing a lot of reloading. But I'll leave that up to you guys, and definitely with the price being $149.99, it's a great entry-level device. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. Remember to subscribe to us. Share the video if you don't mind, and definitely comment, let us know what we can do to change it, or if you have one of these, what your experience has been with one of these. And if you have a competitor's unit, let me know that too. I'm always interested to hear what everybody else is doing. Alright guys, this is Adam from Children's Sword Academy. I'll see you next time.